Now, the South Plains first news in high definition. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
I am 1 out of 7 who can put a stop to this.
And when all was said and done, the City Council voted unanimously. Good evening and thank you for joining us.
After weeks of heated debate, the Lubbock Health Department will remain open for at least another 90 days.
The Lubbock City Council voted unanimously today to allow the Health Board time to study the impact of closing the department and outsourcing services. KCBD News Channel 11's Michael Slaughter joins us now with details. Michael?
Karen and Abner, this all started in July when City Manager Leanne Dumbald presented her budget proposal for next year to the City Council. Well, today, Councilman Victor Hernandez said they only heard about 6 written lines of information about the changes that could be coming to the Health Department during that July proposal. Well, healthcare providers, citizens, and council members say they had no idea the original proposal would have had the city's health department stop offering services a little over 6 weeks after the plan was presented.
I didn't find out about it until I hate to give them credit, but until I heard the news story on KCBD.
For weeks, we brought you coverage of the people of Lubbock's concern over outsourcing immunization and STD clinical services.
I cannot afford to pay for insurance on my own. I urge you to please, please, please find the money somewhere, some way, somehow to keep these programs open.
You know, in your defense, you got a budget to meet. But in our defense, you should have told us this a long time ago. We can make a contingency plan. Right now we have none, and we're already diverting patients.
Take this opportunity today to slow this process down, to continue to provide services at the same location until we, the public, have a chance to provide input.
And that's exactly what every council member decided to do, but it took nearly the entire day for the unanimous vote to allow the Health Board 90 days to study the public impact of outsourcing those health services.
I'm feeling much better, actually. I think we've had a very positive day. I think that I'm hopeful about the moratorium being established to give us time that we can look at this, that the clinic will stay open, that we continue to provide service.
From this day forward, I think we're going to do a little better communicating with the public.
We were elected to make the hard decisions and take some of that away from you. You work for us, you work for the citizens, we work for them.
And that was Victor Hernandez addressing City Manager Leanne Dumbald. And the biggest concern going forward is money. State grants run out the 31st, and the city is waiting on new grants that are expected to be reduced for next year. But if they don't get that grant money in time, they'll need to find those funds in the budget to keep the health department services going for the next 90 days. And they'll have a public hearing on the budget next Monday. Stay with KCBD.com for the very latest. Karen and Abner.
All right, thank you, Michael. Well, the man who police say hit and killed Jose Trejo is behind bars tonight. 25-year-old Samuel Ortega is held on a $50,000 bond in the Lubbock County Jail. He was arrested last night at work without incident and is now charged with 2 counts of failure to stop and render aid. Police say Ortega was driving southbound on Texas Avenue toward 18th Street when he hit Jose Trejo and his wife Jennifer. She suffered minor injuries, but Jose was killed in that accident. Ortega later turned himself in to police on July 31st after obtaining text message records. Authorities say Ortega gave a false alibi, and they say he could later face charges for that as well. However, investigators say the accident was actually Trejo's fault because he was passing illegally on the right side. Plus, Trejo had a blood alcohol content of 0.36, which is 4 times over the legal limit. Now, with that said, a close family friend says that doesn't change the fact that Trejo was the victim of a hit and run and left to suffer on the sidewalk that night.
This is coming from Jennifer as well. We want him to pay for what he's done, accident or no accident. Leaving JoJo laying there like he was nothing is where our anger and hurt really comes from.
Ortega faces 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine if he is convicted.
A Lubbock home was a target of burglars this week. Police say 2 men broke into the home in the 3800 block of 31st Street and tried to take off with items inside.
But one thing they sure didn't count on was a quick-thinking neighbor who says he saw the whole thing and then took the law into his own hands. KCBD News Channel 11's Abby Reed explains.
So I put up in my driveway real fast.
During a break at work, Jamie Casadas ran home to check on his dogs Monday afternoon. But he noticed something suspicious, 2 men in the doorway of his neighbor's home.
The suspects came out and yelled like, "Oh man, hurry up." So the other guy came out with the TV, and he's like, "Wow, what's wrong?" And they saw me. So as soon as they saw me, they jumped in the Suburban and took off.
One of those suspects, police say, was Antonio Garcia. Casares didn't waste any time. He hopped in the car and chased Garcia and his partner.
That's when I started following them. Went down Memphis north, and then started driving around around the Covenant area. They were trying to lose me, so I just kept following them.
911, what's your emergency? Yes, ma'am. There's a house that got broke into over here from 31st and Memphis.
In this 911 call, you can actually hear Casares chasing the men, and he went 3 miles down the Marcia Sharp Freeway onto Slide and down to 24th.
Okay, now they turned on 24th Street. 24th Street, which direction? Then they
crashed through this yard and into a tree, and then they took off on foot. But one of the suspects didn't get very far. Costas managed to chase him to this field where he tackled him to the ground.
I caught up to one of the suspects and actually tripped him. And then when I tripped him, I kicked him and I decided punching him.
Police arrested Garcia, but his accomplice was able to take off. But with one suspect down, Casares says he's glad he did what he did, even if it was risky.
I don't know, I guess quick thinking, like just...
Right place, right time?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy what I did, but I mean, I wasn't going to just let him get away.
Abby Reed, KCBD News Channel 11.
Casares says he has cameras installed in his own house to prevent burglars from breaking into his home. As for the other suspect, police are still looking for him tonight.
On a much different note, it's something that has not been seen much around here lately, but we got some today, so we wanted to show it to you. Rain only hit certain parts of Lubbock just about 5 o'clock this evening. It didn't last very long. It was still better than not having any at all, I guess. But officially, about 3/100 of an inch fell here in Lubbock.
But don't you love that sound of rain falling? It just sounded great tonight. And a little bit of rain brought a lot of excitement around here. Now we're just hoping that there's more rain on the way. So let's go to John and find out what you think. What do you think, John?
Well, you know, it's kind of like the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks, kind of tapering off. Let's take a look at the Digipic we got in earlier this evening. Did have some welcome rainfall. Take a look at this Digipic. This sent in by Stacy Johnson. Now, this was a dust storm. We had a lot of downburst type winds from those showers today, so it did reduce visibility. Had one of them roll through Lubbock. In this case, it is near Farm to Market 2378. And 2641. Appreciate that Digipic. Check it out at sendit211.com. Look at the Doppler radar. You can see the trend, the showers, thunderstorms decreasing, unfortunately, across the South Plains. Most of that activity gradually tapering off. Looks like there might be a couple of showers still hanging on, but again, they're well to the west of Lubbock at this point. In fact, just a couple of those barely hanging on. Between Whiteface, Sundown, Levelland, a little shower or two out of New Mexico. So again, the typical trend is for it to calm down in the evening. And as you check our computer, I do want to show you a digital tower cam time lapse, show you how nice it looked here in Lubbock. You can actually see a couple of those showers looking to the west there, one or two that developed in that region, produced those downburst winds, brought a little bit of rainfall, but temperature-wise, not much change. It's a little cooler, missing a little bit of data tonight, but we've still got a couple of 90s off of the Caprock, 84 here in Lubbock. It's going to be nice again tomorrow morning, a little moisture at noon, and hot and humid again tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thank you, John. Well, he daringly ran into a burning home to save the life of an elderly woman, and today he was honored for that. Jason Skelton is an administrator at Dunbar College Preparatory Academy, but today he was honored as a hero. Skelton was presented with an award for his efforts in saving the life of 72-year-old Danielle Anderson. The plaque was given to him by the students at Dunbar, but Skelton says he was no hero.
I don't like to take the name hero. I just, good citizen is what I wanted to be, and all of us that took care of her as she came out. We all worked together to get her to safety, and we just pray that she's still okay.
That's right. We hope she recovers quickly. She is still in critical condition at UMC this evening.
Members of the group People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals were in the Hub City today. PETA was on the corner of University and Broadway around noon. They were promoting veganism. They say going vegan can cut daily water use by up to 3 times that of a meat eater's diet. PETA claims it takes 2,400 gallons of water to produce just 1 pound of beef. The Texas Cattle Feeders Association responded to PETA's claims. The association says a peer-reviewed study from the University of California found it only takes 441 gallons of water to create 1 pound of beef. If you'd like to take a look at today's protest, it's at kcbd.com. You can check out the slideshow.